Breathe. Breathe, people. We just saw two intense games in the Champions League tonight. I mean, the madness that we saw at Villa Park between Aston Villa and PSG, one of the best games of football we have seen this season. Just thrilling, action-packed tackles, shithousery, golazos, horrible defending, horrible passing. I mean, everything that encapsulates a football game was evident at Villa Park. We even heard at Villa Park the Conference League anthem, but I know why. They said, Unai Emery, we know you're not the greatest in the UCL. You've made a semi-final with Villarreal, but you are the Europa League god. You are the god in that tournament. Let's get you energized with that anthem. I don't know why they had... Whoever put that anthem, by the way, at Villa Park, the Conference League anthem, they're getting fired. As soon as they realized, oh yeah, this is the UCL, then they played it. But I think it was to get the juices going for Unai Emery's team. PSG survived a massive scare. I'm still watching Dortmund and Barcelona, but I just got to talk about... Because there's only like 2 minutes to go, and Barcelona hanged on, and we'll talk about that game later. We got to talk about PSG and Aston Villa. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, people. Who was your MVP tonight? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And yes, this is Michael Talks Football. I did not get a plastic surgery like I'm Charlotte Flair after 3 plastic surgeries. I just shaved. Relax in the comments down below. Aston Villa PSG 3-2. I mean, where do you even begin to talk about a football game like that? You don't even talk about tactics, right? Don't listen to some Twitter tacticals. Maybe you can listen to some YouTube tacticals because some of them create some good stuff. There's no tactics with this game. You cannot, on a stat paper with film, you cannot look at just momentum, expected momentum. You cannot quantify that in football. When the momentum is on your side, you can just feel that you're going to do anything in your powers. Once Villa, okay, first off, PSG, the first 2 goals, fantastic. I mean, that second goal by Nuno Mendes, the way PSG just destroyed Villa's press with the one-touch football from Kvaratskhelia. I think it was João Neves to obviously Hakimi, then Hakimi to Dembele, Dembele to Nuno Mendes. One of the best team goals I've seen this season, alongside, you know, if you want to talk about Barcelona, other teams that have played scintillating football team-wise. That PSG second goal was just phenomenal. And just the pace, the precision that this team can play at, especially in the first half, it is just glorious to watch this PSG team play. But then we did see the bad parts of this PSG side. When they got flustered, when they got rattled, oh boy, they were looking scared. And they were looking like they were going to absolutely crumble and have the biggest meltdown possible. They've obviously had remontada. They've had the Manchester United debacle at home. This would have been up there as well. They had this game in complete control. You're 2-1 up at halftime, right? You have everything in control of your PSG. Just see out the game. Just control it. Don't make this into a basketball game. That's exactly what PSG did. They played into the hands of Aston Villa, and then Villa just... I mean, the momentum they had, the football they were playing, the pressing. I don't know what Unai Emery gave to his players at halftime, but it just got them going. Going at full speed, maybe gave them a line of cocaine or something, because John McGinn was fantastic in that second half. First half, you know, his shithousery on Hakimi, I was like, okay, John, you're a good player. You don't need to do that. Obviously, he's that sort of player. Anyways, great goal from McGinn. Then Konsa after Rashford. I mean, Rashford, that second half was a man possessed. He was playing for a contract there. That second half was contract Rashford. When he's on it, such a good player to watch. He's always had the talent, just never been able to consistently show it for Manchester United. But that second half, that was the best Rashford we have seen for a very long. He was tormenting. That's what I don't understand. Maybe he was gassed. He was just not having the amount of energy left. I don't know why Unai Emery took him off. He took him off for... Obviously, Watkins and Motson came on. I would have had Rashford and Watkins onto the field. Rodgers, that game didn't offer much compared to a Rashford, compared to a Tielemans, compared to... I thought Amadou Onana was actually pretty okay in the game as well. I felt like that substitution kind of took the momentum away from Aston Villa because they realized, let's just give the ball to Rashford. Rashford is cooking Hakimi over and over again. Marquinhos is looking flustered. And Villa... That one save that Donnarumma made, I think it was on Tielemans' header. Donnarumma, he came up close today. Everybody wants to crucify him, and including myself, when he's had horrible performances like the Liverpool at home. But today, and away to Liverpool with the penalty shootout, Donnarumma is coming up clutch for PSG. And that's why they paid the big money. That's why they give him the big contract for these reasons. This is your moment, Donnarumma. And now he's showing the form he has shown for the Azzurri for many, many years. Wow. I mean, PSG, they got a massive scare. I mean, kudos to Aston Villa. I thought they were phenomenal that second half. They pressing and the ball move. They just knew, let's just take the game to PSG. Let's see if they can handle the pressure. It's kind of similar to PSG when they played at Anfield. It kind of looked like they were a little bit flustered as well in the second half, but then they calmed it down. They were better in the extra time, and they obviously went on penalties. And today, it's kind of like PSG, after the 75th minute, they controlled the game a lot more. They were obviously on the counterattack a lot, and they found a lot of space. Dembele just stupid decision after stupid decision. That one where he could easily have played it to Desiree Doué, it was on a plate right there. On a plate. But Aston Villa, kudos to them. It was one of their biggest games at Villa Park for decades. First half, they didn't play like it. The second half, they gave a massive scare to this PSG team. And again, it's another sort of glimpse into this PSG side. Maybe in years past, when it got to 3-2, it would have been game over. Pack your bags, go back to Paris, and see how you can rectify another season without winning the Champions League. But PSG, their season continues. They're still on for the treble, people. They're still on course to win their first ever UCL. But they're going to have to play a lot better in controlling the games away from home. They just allowed Aston Villa to grow into the game and grow into the game. And wow, what's a game at Villa Park, people. I mean, that is just football at its best. You know, you're not always going to get like the flashy nutmegs and this sort of stuff, but you just want to see good football. We saw good football. We saw amazing saves from the goalkeepers. Dibu Martinez in the second half made some really good saves, and Donnarumma was excellent. The defending, I mean, I felt bad for Pacho. There's nothing he can do on those two own goals. Marquinhos, I will always say, this guy is just... he has no calmness about himself in these big UCL nights. He needs to bring that calmness in the semifinal for PSG, but I don't think PSG fans are going to care. They move on to the semifinal, and I think Aston Villa got a lot of respect from PSG during this game. And Unai Emery, what could have been? I'm kind of thinking to myself, what if he started Watkins? What if he started other players like an Asensio, even though Asensio had a really good chance and he should have buried it, but Donnarumma made a clutch save. So if you're Villa and you're a Villa fan, you're going to look back on this game in a couple of years. If you're not playing UCL football, you're going to be like, damn, Asensio had that chance. Tillemans with that header. It could have been our night. That free kick from Rashford Award just went by Konsa. Those were the moments for Villa. They had the momentum, then they kind of slipped away, and PSG ran out and barely advanced, people. Barely advanced. I knew this tie was going to be good. 5-4 in aggregate scoreline, even better than what I could have hoped for. Let me know your thoughts, people. Do you get more confidence in PSG winning the UCL? Or is this now a little bit of a damper on your thoughts about them winning the UCL? I still think this is actually a good thing for PSG. They need to go through these tough moments to win a UCL. You have to suffer sometimes as a big team. We've seen Real Madrid countless times when they did the three-peat. I mean, I remember that when they bolted it to Juventus and then Ronaldo scored in the final minute. These things are going to happen. So it happened to this PSG team, but they get through it. That's the most important thing. Then the other game, it finished 3-1 for Borussia Dortmund. Shout out to Guirassy. This guy couldn't score past the Somalian goalkeeper, Abdirrahman Mahmoud Jama, when it was 0-0 World Cup qualifiers. And obviously, Abdirrahman had made some incredible saves. Guirassy couldn't score past that goalkeeper. And he scored a UCL hat-trick in a quarterfinal. Yes, he should have scored probably 5 goals in this game, because in the first 6 minutes, he had 2, glorious chances, similar to the first leg. And got to give credit to Dortmund. I see people saying, oh, Dortmund didn't play that well. They're giving Barcelona space. Oh, they're just crying. Why don't you give Dortmund credit? They played actually a really good game. I thought Guirassy was phenomenal. I thought Emecha and also Svensson. Ben Sabani, this guy, please check his bank account. Somebody, that own goal finish was amazing finish. But what? Clear it out. Clear it out. It's a great cross from Koundé, but my God, Ben Zabani, you got to do better in that situation. I think if you're Barcelona, this was not a good performance whatsoever. And I think it kind of highlights more of how valuable Pedri is in these UCL nights and big games. Just the way he controls the games, finding the pass. I thought Gavi today, not his best game. De Jong, I think he really struggled. I thought Koundé looked really shaky, either against Adeyemi or Duranville or one of these players for Dortmund. I thought Koundé looked shaky. It's just not been a good game from Barcelona, but heck, they were already 4-0 up. I don't know how much you want to criticize them if you're a Barcelona fan. I don't think you can criticize them. They won on aggregate scoreline, 5-3, 5-3? Like, I knew this wasn't going to be, some people predicted 8-1 aggregate scoreline for Barcelona. I'm like, please. I get it, Dortmund are not good this season, but put some respect on them. They still got a lot of quality players, and their quality players showed out. Adeyemi having a good game, Gerase having the hat trick, Bayer having a couple really good opportunities, just couldn't find any shot on target. So I think Dortmund played good, and they're going to kick themselves as well because they had how many shots on target? 7 shots on target in the first half. Barcelona had a grand total of 0. They had 1 shot on goal in that first half, people. 1. Barcelona were terrible in the first half. Second half, Barcelona grew into the game more, and then Dortmund looked a little bit more like they couldn't generate a lot of good opportunities. Araujo, horrible clearance, even though I thought Gerard Martin for that third goal for Dortmund, he got cooked easily by Duranville. And then Araujo, I mean, he cleared it, but it was just a poor clearance for him. Straight into the path of Gerasi. After that, Dortmund didn't really create anything and then finished 3-1. So yeah, Barcelona, they didn't play well. I'm not going to criticize them a lot. People might go overboard and say, oh yeah, Barcelona, the bottle gene was there. No. You got to give credit to Dortmund in this matchup. They showed up. They knew they could not go down 4-0 again because then the fans will let them know about it. Today, Niko Kovac and his side, they showed a spirited effort, a spirited comeback. When it got to 2-0, I was like, hey, we might be seeing something here. You know, Dortmund having the momentum, they're creating chances. Barca having nothing in the game. Then Barca grew into it. Then they got that own goal, and then it kind of just was done from there. So yeah, Barcelona, they advanced to the semifinal. They're going to have to play a lot better from home, especially because I think the second leg in the semifinal, they're away to either the Allianz Arena or the San Siro. So Barca cannot play like that in the second leg. Yes, you can annihilate teams at home, but we saw in the past with the AS Roma, with the Liverpool, they destroy the teams at home, but then away from home, they get flustered. I don't think this team is going to get flustered. I just think they needed some sort of motivation into the game. You could kind of see the legs were a little bit tired and they're not really motivated, whereas Dortmund were like, no, we're just going to take the game to Barcelona, and they did. So fair play to them. Svensson down the left side, by the way, really good player. His deliveries should be a lot better, but I really like this player for Dortmund. And Dortmund, they got to get better midfield. Young Couto has not been a good signing, and yeah, they need to replace Ben Sabani ASAP. Obviously, Nico Schlotterbeck was a big miss in this. So Barcelona, they survived, not their best performance, but what a night in the UCL, people. We almost saw 2 comebacks from Aston Villa and Borussia Dortmund. What about tomorrow? Are we going to get a comeback from Bayern Munich? Or are we going to get a comeback from Real Madrid? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're around here for more UCL content. We'll be back here tomorrow for the game reactions. But have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Till next time. Adios.